Coming up on this week's edition of Vikings Beyond the Gridiron. The regular season is here, and the Vikings are ready for Monday night's opener against the 49ers.
I'm very excited. I have very high expectations for this season for our team.
Plus, 2 rookie free agents beat the odds and are part of the 2015 Minnesota Vikings.
He was another one of those young guys that kind of popped out to you a little bit on special teams that you wanted to keep around and continue to develop.
Hear from Chad Greenway as he prepares to take the field for season number 10 in purple.
I really do appreciate the game, what it's all about. The camaraderie, the guys being together, being around the coaches.
And we catch up with a Vikings offensive star, ready and primed to have a big year.
It's also my goal to go out there and perform and kind of remind everyone of the old Kyle Rudolph that was here.
It's all next on this week's edition of Vikings Beyond the Gridiron.
I don't know anybody than hard work. And I want our football team to have that mentality.
Strong work ethic and you're mentally tough, then you're going to get the job done.
I have the opportunity to wear the purple and gold.
This is here is just to show that I'll compete at a high level, lead this team.
September 14th is an important day on the calendar. A day that has been circled for months. A time of the year that has been anticipated since February. The return of the Vikings season. 9 months since taking the field for the final time in 2014, the Minnesota Vikings and the rest of the NFL gear up in preparation for opening weekend and the start of the NFL regular season.
I'm excited for a lot of reasons. I think the way this organization and team is going is exciting. Have a quarterback to build from to start with, and then just so many good young players. For me as an aging veteran, a guy who's been around a few times, it's fun to see young guys stepping into their own and kind of becoming the players that they're capable of being. And I'm the guy that's trying to lead the group and be a guy that they can lean on a little bit, ask questions, and kind of be there for them.
The return of football is exciting for all fans across the country, but there is much enthusiasm in Minnesota for the Vikings. With nearly all the lineup back on both offense and defense, there's plenty to build upon from last year's 7-win team.
For us, winning 7 games was an improvement from 2013, but at the same time, we didn't win our division, we didn't make the playoffs, goals that we had set for ourselves. So it's definitely a step in the right direction, but at the same time, we can't be satisfied with that 7 wins. We had quite a few games that could have gone one way or the other. Came up on the short end a few times and were able to pull out a couple wins, but it's important for us to make sure that we win all those games, and we win 10, 11, 12, 13 games, and we win the NFC North and host a home playoff game.
Well, I think if you look throughout our season, we should have been a team that definitely should have more than 7 wins. Ball goes one way or another, we might turn those 7 wins into 11 wins. And so I think we're right on the verge of being able to do something special here, and hopefully we can make that happen this year.
The return of Adrian Peterson to the Vikings offense adds a whole new dimension, as the game's top running back requires defenses to pay close attention to number 28. Add that, along with a dangerous array of offensive weapons, coupled with the play of second-year quarterback Teddy Bridgewater, and you have an offense primed for a big year.
I'm very excited about this upcoming season. I'm feeling way more comfortable going into my second season. But I know that I can't play the way I played last year. I have to continue to get better. In this league, nothing stays the same. It's either you're getting better or you're getting worse. And my goal is to continue to get better.
You have to account for him, and you're going to try to do your very best to get him stopped and make someone else beat you. And so that, to me, along with the weapons that we have in some of the other places, if we can utilize some of those things, will not only open up for Adrian, it'll open up for a lot of other people. But he's such a powerful, explosive, and fast runner.
Countering the Vikings' offensive stars is a defense loaded with young talent entering their prime. One of the most improved units in the NFL last year, expectations are plenty high for this shutdown defense.
I'm very excited. Got a chance to watch some of the things this team did last year, and it's a pretty exciting season. First-year head coach, transitioning, so looking for something big and bright this year.
I'm pretty excited. It's time to get back to business and work hard and go for the ultimate goal, and that's Super Bowl.
Coming off a 4-win preseason with young stars continuing to improve and get better, hope and anticipation is at a high for the Purple. But with all the buzz around this team's good start, the head coach knows it all comes down to being ready to play when it counts for real.
I think there's a lot of buzz about our football team at this point in time, and I understand that, you know, people get excited, they get on the bandwagon, then they get off the bandwagon. What really matters is how we go out and perform in the pressure-packed situations when the games are on the line, how we play together as a team. You know, I still believe that the best team wins that day, not the best talent or the best individuals or one guy plays great. And that's really what we're trying to build. We're trying to build a great team.
I feel like we have great potential. We have great talent. And I feel like the sky's the limit for us. You know, it's really all about, as a team, us putting in the effort and us putting in the time to get there. But we have what it takes to make it into the playoffs and give ourselves a chance.
Coming up, Kyle Rudolph is ready to kick off the 2015 season and prove he is one of the league's top tight ends. Plus, learn why the game of football has brought so much to a Vikings veteran. And up next, from undrafted rookies to being able to put on a Vikings uniform. That's next on Vikings Beyond the Gridiron. Vikings Beyond the Gridiron is brought to you by Miller Lite, the official beer sponsor of the Minnesota Vikings, by Verizon, the official wireless partner of the Minnesota Vikings, and by U.S. Bank, the official bank of the Minnesota Vikings and proud sponsor of U.S. Bank Stadium. No matter if the uniform is worn on Sundays or just throughout the week, it all feels the same. The chance to be in the NFL is something millions of kids dream about, but few ever get to achieve. So for a Minnesotan who grew up idolizing and following the Vikings, any opportunity to wear the purple is all he needs.
You know, just always wanted to be a professional player, so it feels pretty good, obviously, but I know there's a lot of work to do still, and I'm excited about the road ahead.
Isaac Frichte remembers Sundays as a kid, following the Vikings and cheering on his idol Randy Moss, but he never realized he would someday get to wear that same uniform. As an undrafted rookie after playing 2 seasons with the Gophers, the odds of making the team were slim, but an impressive training camp and preseason led the Vikings to sign the wide receiver to their practice squad.
You know, he was a kid that came in to our tryout camp, wasn't signed right after the draft. And from there, you can see the size, you can see the speed, you can see he does have some athletic ability. So we felt at that time, yeah, let's give him a shot and let's take him to camp and see what he can do. And as we went through training camp and through the OTAs and mini camp, you can see him slowly progressing. You can see him making some plays in the passing game, but also that he started to show up a little bit on special teams, especially during the preseason game. So we felt from some of the flashes that we saw during that process that you know, he deserved a shot at the practice squad.
Catching the coach's eye is what undrafted rookies need to do during camp, and the 24-year-old did just that. While his goal would be suiting up on Sundays, he hopes this is the first step in a childhood dream.
Well, I think it's a stepping stone. You know, it's a step in the right direction to try and achieve, you know, what we want to achieve and, you know, helping this organization be the best it can be. So, you know, I'm looking forward to it, and, you know, there's a lot of work to be done still.
Much like Frichte, another undrafted rookie was more than happy to be wearing an NFL uniform and having the chance to compete for a spot on the 2015 roster. Safety Anthony Harris was a star at Virginia, but a shoulder injury caused teams to pass on the talented youngster. While not getting drafted wasn't ideal, he knows he's lucky to be where he is.
It's been nice, you know, compared to the different levels that, you know, to take to get here, all the preparation you put in. So to just see, you know, how things function on this level and, you know, how much of a business side of it is, but at the same time, you know, guys still show that passion and drive to just come out here and, you know, just focus on football and realize that, you know, you're at the top level and everybody's, you know, kind of looking to get to where you are. You know, it's a great honor and a great feeling.
Harris was proving doubters wrong since the day he reported in May, and his play was enough to garner an opportunity to work on his craft and adjust to the NFL as a member of the Vikings practice squad.
He's a good athlete with good range, and he was another kid that you saw he has a lot of potential. And you know, in the preseason, he showed he can be physical and support. He has some coverage skills. He was another one of those young guys that kind of popped out to you a little bit on special teams that you wanted to keep around and continue to develop him.
Both rookies would much rather be playing on Sundays, but as undrafted free agents, the odds are slim. They hope this is the first step in their long NFL journey. They are in the league, living out their childhood dreams. And having an opportunity to still wear an NFL jersey is what it's all about.
The job's really not finished. We got a lot of work still ahead of us, you know, which is good. I'm excited for that and excited for my opportunity.
It feels good, you know, to be able to, you know, wake up each morning and focus on something that I love, which is football. So I'm excited to be here, you know. Got a lot of great guys who I'm learning from, a lot of great coaches trying to help me get better. And right now I'm just trying to take advantage of the opportunity.
Coming up, hear from Chad Greenway as the veteran prepares to take the field for his 10th season with the Vikings. That's next on Vikings Beyond the Gridiron. The football field has become a second home for him, a place he has known since childhood and a spot he's been ever since. Playing a long NFL career that few ever get to achieve, and doing it by having the drive and determination to put in the work to be the best.
You know, to be a great player, it just takes, you know, understanding your weaknesses, you know, understanding your strengths, and then going out there and attacking them, you know, and working towards them. And I think it's just consistently being that guy that every day is going to show up and be the consistent worker, and then identify the things you need to get better at, and then attacking those and getting better at them. I think, and just taking that, you know, and taking, you know, be able to take your coaching and know that you're not perfect or great at everything, and just try to get better at those things as you move forward.
As a linebacker for the Minnesota Vikings, Chad Greenway has prospered to become a record-breaking defender in the Vikings history books. But his work on other fields has been just as rewarding. As the NFL season is about to begin, Greenway can still be found working, just on another type of field, this time hosting the Chad Greenway Football Clinic in Hutchinson. A chance to use the tools and tricks he's learned over a long NFL career and pass them down to the next generation.
Well, I think that, you know, sports and life really are just hand in hand. You know, there's a lot of things you can learn from sports that are going to treat you well in life, and, you know, teamwork, you know, given an opportunity, take advantage of the opportunity. And I think just appreciation is just this generation, the young kid generation coming up, seems like a lot of things need to be handed to them. You know, it's just, you know, here you go, you know, here's the keys to the car, and it should be that easy. Well, here at the camp, we make you work for it. You know, we make you work hard for 2 days. We make you work hard by, you know, in different ways. You know, learn about how to be a high character individual. You know, what it takes to be selfless. Working, you know, teamwork in the strength conditioning section. You know, teamwork out here on the football field, meeting new people, and then just appreciating this opportunity and understanding that not a lot of kids are getting the same opportunity across the state of Minnesota and in the U.S.
Working with kids and making a difference in the community has been a big key for Chad and his wife, Jenny. Together, they formed the Lead the Way Foundation, an organization created in 2008 to make a difference with youth throughout the upper Midwest. The impact has been endless, and he knows the ability to make a difference comes in large part to the game of football.
I think I appreciate just what the game can do for you, you know, what it can do for your family, obviously what it can do for a community, what it can do for me, like our foundation, just to be able to give back in so many different ways. And, you know, when I first came in, I didn't think we'd ever have a foundation that was doing all these things. I think it kind of just came up pretty organically, and one thing led to another, and we're doing all these events, and it's been great. And, you know, just make a positive impact. It's just, it makes you feel so good to be able to do things like that. But, you know, I'm still a football player and excited to get there for the season, and obviously looking forward to a great year.
His work in the community is second to none, quite like his durability on the other football field. Entering his 10th season, the South Dakota native has spent his entire career in purple, a rare feat that is tough to achieve in the modern-day NFL world.
the reason you started playing football is because you're with all your buddies. I mean, you're a kid growing up on the playground, you just be able to spend time and compete and have fun with your buddies, and then, you know, become this bigger thing. And I think now they've been in the NFL for 10 years, you know, you really do appreciate the game and what it's all about. You know, the camaraderie, the guys being together, being around the coaches, and learning the game and getting better, and constantly trying to reinvent yourself. You know, every year for me has now became a little more difficult, but it's still fun for me to do, and it's so exciting to be out to get to game day and to be able to put it out there in front of everybody else and try to compete and win.
His numbers put him in the category with some of the greatest to ever play for the Vikings. As he prepares for the season opener on Monday night, he knows his days in the NFL are winding down, but he never stops working to be the best linebacker he can be.
It's what it's all about, is to put all the work in and to know that every day you woke up and you tried to put your best foot forward to make yourself better, and to go out there then to put it out, you know, to let everybody show everybody what you've done and what you've been up to and how much work you've put in, and show the improvements that you've made. And then to do it as a team, and to do it again, to be a part of something that's bigger than yourself, a team, and have that camaraderie with your buddies, and to be able to do it together is what it's really what football is all about. That's why it's, in my opinion, the ultimate team game.
For the past decade, Chad Greenway has been a leader and key contributor on the Vikings defense. When he puts on the uniform on Monday night, it will mark his 10th season here in Minnesota as a Viking, the only uniform he hopes to wear in his NFL career. His work and impact the past decade has been endless, but there is no place he would rather be than on the gridiron. Coming up, we catch up with Kyle Rudolph as the veteran prepares to regain his Pro Bowl form. That's next on Vikings Beyond the Gridiron. Vikings Beyond the Gridiron is brought to you by Miller Lite, the official beer sponsor of the Minnesota Vikings, by Verizon, the official wireless partner of the Minnesota Vikings, and by U.S. Bank, the official bank of the Minnesota Vikings and proud sponsor of U.S. Bank Stadium. It is 5 years in the making, stretching the length of his entire left arm, with dedications as to what got him to this point.
51 hours put in this off season, and it was something that I had been thinking about over probably the course of the last 5 years, and I didn't want to do just a little bit at a time. You know, everyone's like, geez, you went from no tattoos to having your whole arm covered, but in my mind, it's just one big piece.
Viking fans will see a new Kyle Rudolph on Monday night when they take the field versus the 49ers. A tattoo now dons most of the left arm of the veteran tight end.
It's all based around family, and for me, it's family is the most important thing to me. My family's played a huge role in molding me into the person that I am today, on and off the field. So it was important to me to get this done, and like I said, I didn't want to do just a little bit at a time. I wanted the full piece to be done at once.
But the art on his arm isn't all that the fans will see new on Kyle Rudolph. The tight end participated in a different off-season workout routine designed to keep his body healthy and ready to go all season long.
After doing a little bit of research and talking to other guys around the league that have had so much success and that have stayed healthy for long periods of time, what are they doing to put themselves in situations to stay healthy for 16 games, and meeting with the people that I train with out in California and coming up with a plan that we just hit the ground running in the middle of February, and I definitely feel the best I ever have in my career. And now we're working smarter instead of harder, but you always have to put the time and effort in, and this year we just did a little bit smarter.
The 25-year-old is hoping his off-season workouts help with the physical nature of an NFL season and keeps him healthy and on the field for all of 2015. After being drafted in the second round of the 2011 draft, Kyle quickly became a Pro Bowl tight end and a focal point of the Vikings offense. But back-to-back seasons with injuries have him wanting to return to a healthy form and be that key passing threat in the team's offense.
You know, people will see, if you haven't seen already this preseason, a new look with the tattoo, but you know, it's also my goal to go out there and perform and kind of remind everyone of the old Kyle Rudolph that was here, the Kyle that, you know, went to the Pro Bowl and won Pro Bowl MVP, and that's my biggest objective early in this season, is just to remind Vikings fans of the player that I was before the injuries, and to show them all the work that I've put in to get back to that form.
In a Vikings offense lined with star power, Kyle Rudolph is one of the key pieces who is ready for a big season in 2015. Much like the offense that has a fresh feel to it, the same can be said for Rudolph. The tight end is sporting a new look and is ready to regain his Pro Bowl form as one of the game's top tight ends.
You know, I'm extremely excited to go out and play for real in 2015. It seems like we've been going at it for a while now with, you know, the 5 preseason games, the extra week of training camp. So it's a great time to be a Minnesota Viking, and you know, we have really high expectations for ourselves this year, and you know, it's time to go out and show everyone in the world on national television on Monday night.
The preceding has been a presentation of the Vikings Entertainment Network.